This year, the jury commends CNN for the continuing commitment of its correspondents and resources to on-the-scene eyewitness coverage of Bosnia. Its team of reporters, Jim Clancy, Brent Sadler, Jackie Szymanski, and especially Christiane Amanpour, have kept the world's eyes on the horrors of this war with professionalism and restraint. A duPont-Columbia Award to CNN for coverage of the war in Bosnia. Here's an example by Christiane Amanpour.
The refugees came through in 11 covered trucks. Those who managed to peek out the sides waved happily, but their smiles belie the horror of this exodus. One truck was full of wounded. It went straight to the hospital. The doctors stunned by what they found inside. "You're free now, don't be afraid anymore," he says to this young boy so savagely injured. Here on these faces, these broken bodies, hard evidence of the previous day's Serb onslaught on Srebrenica. The UN says nearly 60 people were killed, nearly 100 were injured. "Come here, come here." This little boy is pleading for his mother. As bad as this is, those even worse off had to stay behind, too weak to make the long journey out. The commander of all UN forces in former Yugoslavia has sent a message to the Serbs, calling what happened in Srebrenica an atrocity. Another official calls it criminal lunacy. And yet another says these people are faced with a terrible choice: be shipped out like cattle or slaughtered like sheep. And the civilized world is faced with the terrible shame of watching these scenes without doing anything to end the carnage. This woman gave birth to a baby on Christmas Day, but it was not a joyful occasion.
"No one can force me to take this child. If someone forces me to keep it, I will kill it myself."
She gave her baby up for adoption because it was conceived in hate, not love. She is one of the countless Bosnian Muslim women who say they were raped by Serb soldiers. In Bosnia and in refugee camps in Croatia, Muslim women say they were used until they became pregnant. They were told they would bear Serb children. Many were not released until it was too late to have abortions. The mother of this baby says she was raped. She has deserted the child, and hospitals in Sarajevo and Croatia report a marked increase in the number of abandoned babies. CNN interviewed 2 Serb soldiers captured and jailed by Muslim forces in Sarajevo. In the presence of their captors, they told us they had been ordered to rape and kill Muslim women.
"I killed 1 girl and 1 man, and I raped 2 girls. A man showed us which rooms we should take. When we entered, he threatened the girls, telling them not to shout or scream.
They
told us it was good for the soldiers' morale. Then they told us we would have to kill them because there wasn't enough food and there would be more women. I killed only 2.
The international community estimates that Serbs may have systematically raped as many as 20,000 Muslim women as a weapon of war, though they admit they may never know the real figure because of the code of silence among women who are overwhelmed by feelings of shame and resentment. Resentment because stories like these have been filtering out for more than 6 months now, as the world stood silently by.
And here is correspondent Christiane Amanpour accepting for CNN. Christiane Amanpour.
Thank you very much, not just for awarding this to CNN, but for Bosnia. Many people ask us why we keep going back. Aren't there other stories? Aren't there other wars? There are, but for those of us who've been there for so long, we profoundly believe that something deeply evil is going on there, that such dangerous precedents have been set, and such a horror is being allowed to continue with nothing done about it. The world has been derelict in its duty. We, the journalists, at least have done our job, and we have done our duty. And I believe that what's happened in Bosnia will leave an indelible black stain, not only on our history, but on our humanity. Thank you for awarding this for Bosnia.